Alright, let's start part 20 off by doing some shopping. See, we upgraded our classes, and I'm gonna stay at the end to show off more of their overworld sprites. Since we got these new spiffy sprites, might as well see them. Yeah, look at those guys. But anyway, so some changes occurred to our classes. The two mages became wizards, red and white respectively, meaning they can learn more spells. And I think they get better at spell casting. The warrior became a knight, and the knight can learn white magic. Low level, so we're actually buying a bunch of pretty meaningless and worthless spells, all things considered. But I figure, hey, why not deck him out anyway? And the monk became the master. Masters, they just have better offensive stats. All the classes gain better gains as well upon leveling up, but the black mages would become black wizards. And just like the white wizards, they can learn all the black magic spells. And Thief becomes a ninja, who in addition to being useless, can also buy a bunch of pretty useless black magic for where we're at. So that's nice. I don't know if I talked about Thief earlier or not. Thief, the reason I call him useless, is because his ability... the thing he brings to the party isn't the ability to steal item drops from enemies, as they would be known for later in the series. No, in this game they don't do that. Instead, they get a bonus to luck whenever they're trying to flee combat. And to compensate for such an amazing ability, they cannot equip that great of equipment, so they are pretty terrible. And in the NES version, from what I've heard, they didn't work right. They didn't quite get the bonus to luck to be able to flee easily. So, they didn't even get anything in addition to being able to equip pretty meaningless equipment. So, yeah, I don't find them particularly great. Oh, that's a new city. Yeah, we're going to explore up here in this episode. Up in the northern continent. And up here, blocked off on all sides by mountains, is a new city we can actually go to. Gaia. Now, I'm going to waste some time talking to a bunch of people, trying to find one person in particular that I'm trying to talk to. And it's gonna be the one person that I don't talk to. Of course. But I'll remember where she is later. It's not too important. Just kind of started realizing that, hey, maybe talking to people and showing off where you, how you know where to go is prudent. You can stop claiming to know that somebody says something about it and instead just showing it. So this place is called the Eye of the Hawk, and there's that city we saw to the south must be Wing of the Hawk. And she can't believe it. They never receive visitors around here. Makes you wonder why they have an inn. Yep, that's the inn. It's a pretty big inn, too. You'd think that in that size, they'd get, like, all kinds of visitors. Like, this would be a ski resort or something. But no, you can't actually get up here. They're isolated from the rest of the world. Now, protect rings are awesome. I'm never going to remove them because they're a gauntlet. And they make you immune to death effects. So that's a really good item to have. Anyway, the other green-haired chick you might have seen on screen is the lady I was trying to find and talk to. But this one has something important to say for later. Keep in mind that she saw a glowing light falling to the west, because that's going to be important later. Like, after the next dungeon later. Like, it's going to be in a while, so just keep that in mind. I do some shopping. Figure since I bought that many cottages, might as well ditch the tents. Because cottages are better than tents. And this guy brings up the fact that there's a scholar studying an ancient language called Lufinian. I could have talked to that guy earlier. I forgot to. He's out of the way, so I didn't remember when I was in the town he's in. I can't remember the name of that town offhand, so... And this guy's an asshole. He caught a fairy and figured because he caught it, he could do whatever he wanted with her. So he sold her. Yeah, you slaving bastard. I wish I could just start a fight with you. Well, maybe we'll play hero and save that fairy. Who knows? Maybe that'll be important. And the person I was trying to talk to earlier was going to mention that the fairy in town had gone missing. Now, in order to get to that town we saw earlier, we have to dock all the way up here and walk it. This forest is one of 2 areas that you can run into those T-Rexes I was mentioning last time. Again, I think it's like a 2% chance or less to encounter those, so you'd be pretty lucky to even encounter one at all in a given playthrough. But something so rare must be tough and worthwhile, huh? I imagine they'd thrash you. And we have some Minotaur zombies. Because they were out of ideas for the Minotaur enemies. He couldn't have come up with something else, I guess. This area... I don't remember all the encounters around here. I run into a bunch of Hillgigas and a bunch of Minotaur zombies. Later on, I ran into a single Beretta. Spoiler alert, I don't actually run into a T-Rex in the jungle on this walk, so... don't get to see anything like that this episode. I do like the new sprites, but... Something to complement the NES version for. The sprites are significantly different on the NES version from the original classes. Like, they get all jacked and buff, and the White Mage looks like Jesus. It's amazing. But I do like the sprites here as well. Especially the knight, like... I don't know, I just like how the knight looks. The master kind of looks like a bit of a hippie, so... And you might not be able to tell the difference between the Red Mage and the Red Wizard, but there is some. His clothes are a little shinier. I believe there's some more green on his tunic or whatever he's wearing. Yeah, level 4 Dia is Diaja. It looks kind of awesome. Now that we have that, we can start going a little bit on the more offensive with him. Per Lupagami do. Oh no. Not you guys as well. Oh, they must be speaking Lufinian. Oh, that must be what that guy earlier was. Yeah, they're all gonna say it. Lupagami do. Yeah, that's not weird at all. Well, I guess it makes sense now. It's a different language. That guy wasn't high. He can't speak English.
Darn! We're not gonna make it! Let's speed up!
There's that Beretta I was talking about. But in the process of journeying there, I realized that I missed something while in Gaia. So I had to go back to get that. Back here, hidden away kind of, are another set of magic shops where you can buy level 8 spells. Not all of them, but... Well, no, that is all the level 8s, isn't it? There's another shop that sells the other level 7s, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, you can get... Holy! And that really is the only worthwhile level 8 spell. I mean, I can see a use for Dispel, but Null All isn't really all that great. It only single targets. But, let's get on our airship, and I'll see you next time. We did a whole bunch of nothing that episode, so... Bye.